So today we're going to be talking about health and wellness and fitness, especially as a student who is transitioning from being a full-time student to working full-time. This can be a really stressful time for a lot of young adults, and a lot of young adults might not be able to balance that newfound responsibility with also staying on top of their health. They might not be able to work out as often or eat as healthy. They might be going out to happy hour with different colleagues or things like that. And so it's really easy to have some difficulties maintaining your optimal health when making this transition. So I wanted to create this video today to talk about some different digital technology and apps that can really help as you navigate that transition. So today we're going to just go over some of that technology, and I'm also going to throw in some interesting facts and figures, and I'll have resources at the end. So stick around, and I hope this video helps. The first thing that I kind of wanted to talk about was the transition from university to working full-time. According to BMC Psychology, the psychological distress of that transition can be really, really impactful. And thankfully, they do see a really big decrease, a significant decrease in that psychological stress after about 3 years. But 3 years is a long time. And, it's fairly common knowledge that stress is one of the biggest influencers in our day-to-day health and how we actually treat ourselves. So that's something to keep in mind. The Mayo Clinic, they do talk about having a better work-life balance and the importance of that, especially in relation to health. So without a good work-life balance and without stress management, you are more likely to have different health issues, both mental and physical, and that can cause fatigue, poor health. There's just a lot of different things that can come as a result of that. JMIR publications found that the release of the iPhone in 2008 was really the launching point for digital health. It was the first time that people were able to access apps on their phone that were specifically designed to help them with their health. The National Institute of Mental Health talks about some of the pros and the cons of these different apps. Obviously, for pros, they're convenient, they're easy to use, typically they're low cost, a lot of them are even free. You're typically able to service more people, but that is one of the cons as well, is that not everybody's going to have access to this technology, especially those who can't afford the technology that is needed to access a lot of these apps. One of the big negatives that they mention as well is privacy. This is obviously very sensitive HIPAA information, and hackers do run the risk of breaking into databases. A study done by HHS Public Access showed that between two groups, one that used traditional weight loss methods and one that used a program like MyFitnessPal, neither one actually performed better than the other. And so they suggested that these apps are really only helpful if the person is truly ready to make a change with their health. Otherwise, it's no more effective than traditional methods. So one of the biggest things to help manage the transition between student and full-time employee is honestly just structure, and a lot of that can be done through apps. So I personally use Noom and the fitness app from Apple. I'm going to include links below to videos on how to use both of those apps because those are super helpful, but they focus on psychological approaches to eating, tracking fitness and exercise and things like that. But there's really a bunch of them, and I think the biggest takeaway is really managing all of the things that you're using in your life and tracking them and having something to hold you accountable. A lot of these apps can be really helpful in holding you accountable and helping you track all of your progress or anything else that you need to track. I hope this video was really helpful. I had a lot of fun doing research for this project for you all. I know we talked a little bit about the history and how stress can impact students who are starting to work full-time, along with how apps don't necessarily actually help, especially with something like weight loss, or how the iPhone was kind of the catalyst for some of these apps to come about. But I know for me personally, I learned a lot doing this project. If I had to do one thing over, I would definitely make a longer video because there's so much interesting stuff to learn and to talk about. But I hope that you found this video interesting, and I would highly recommend checking out those Apple Fitness and Noom videos that I'm linking below as well. Thank you so much for joining.